4, 3, 2, 1, go. Pineapple juice. Hey guys, Ranchin here, bringing a of commentary. This is going to be the third set between Light and RorO. The Bigfile MSL 2010, round of 16. Final game in the round of 16. So we're finally gotta get this stuff over with and start working on the round of 8, which started sometimes, whatever. Anyway, this is gonna bottom right in position. At 5 o'clock in orange as the turn player is going to be Light. Upper left in position 11 o'clock in blue as Zerg. We're going to have RorO. Even Steven here, everybody. And I'm kind of looking forward to this. This is going to be Odd Eye 3. We're probably not going to be seeing quite the same play that we saw on Fighting Spirit between these two guys. Probably going to be seeing a 12 hatch to start off from RorO because that's what you generally see on Odd Eye for Zergs. They just 12 hatch no matter who they're playing. Feeling perfectly safe despite this being a two-player map. There's long distances, and wondering whether Light's going to bring us something funky or whether she's going to go for one Rex and Expo. He's a player that does change things up, and looking forward to see whether he has any specific build ready for it. He unfortunately got masked over pretty much by RorO in the other game. He just could not put the pressure on that he wanted to put, and the entire game he really was just held back, and not really allowed to utilize forces that he would have wanted to utilize. Unfortunately, losing a large amount of his army kind of early on to Mutalisks and Zerglings. I believe Lurkers as well, actually. Don't quite remember whether it got into play at that point, but really losing a large part of his army, I believe almost 2 control groups early on, really kind of held him back the entire game. And he just couldn't put on the pressure that he wanted. So we're going to see how well he performs on this one. This is much more Terran-friendly map overall. Easier to expand. Terrans can take 3 bases with gas. And going for gas, as we see that very, very early gas from Light. So we might actually be seeing a mech build here from him. A transition into mech. Could be seeing early Vulture. We haven't seen that a lot from Terrans. Try to go for an early Vulture and then transition to Medic Marine. And Zergs don't protect against it as much. They still do sometimes put a early sunken colony at the front, but they don't do it as much. But I assume that the Overlord would spot out the early gas and the factory coming down. Meanwhile, Light now going to spot the 3 hatch build. Still don't see a Zerg. No, not single spotting poles. There's going to be 3 hatch into pool. Roro's playing a little bit risky here, I gotta say. If he was facing some sort of quick build, maybe 2 racks, a 2 racks build, or maybe even some sort of cheese early bust, he would be in a lot of trouble. But since he's not facing that, he's okay. Now, meanwhile, Marine gonna go out there, gonna spot that Overlord, gonna try, go away Overlord. Doesn't want that Overlord inside of his base. If there's going to be a scout coming in, he wants to make sure it's a drone. I think there was a drone actually coming off the line just to go and do that. Spawning point already coming up. You want a factory being hidden down here at the very low south. Overlord, meanwhile, is probably going to be forced back by that one single Marine, and he's not really producing anything else much from that barracks. No, one single Marine. He wants to keep those resources. Meanwhile, Marine has apparently moved out a little bit. Overlord is actually floating downwards there, and Marine should have actually, I think, kept firing. Meanwhile, Light getting the SCV scout in there. So at the very least he's safe in that, forcing that Overlord back. Overlord at the very least spotted that there's no Expo coming down, so he doesn't even know exactly what to expect. Starport coming in here, so I'm definitely curious as to what he's going for. Might be early Vulture drop here. Light known very well for his very good dropship play, so might be seeing some early Vulture drops, trying to get right in here, and RorO might not be too ready for this. We're going to see he does have a creep colony here at the front. This is going to be from early Vultures, so Vulture's not going to be able to penetrate and do some damage there. Meanwhile, Vulture going to come out, going to get spotted by the Overlord, but Light takes the opportunity to expand. So he's also going to be safe economically. Well, he's not really going to be facing any frontal attacks yet, as the spawning pool, I think, is just not being ready, and Vultures out there are a fairly good counter to that. Only one single Vulture being produced, actually, so looking forward to see what he's going to do with this starport out there. Maybe a anti-Zerg variation of his buddy cop build. Going to be a Wraith. Okay, so we're just going to go for early Wraith. And wondering to see whether there's actually transition back into Medic Marine, because I believe Light is, of the players still playing, Terran players still playing StarCraft, one of the best players to utilize Medic Marines out there. Hydralist Enemy will now come down alongside the lair at the natural Expo for RorO. So he's also going to strengthen his natural working on the rest. Machine Shop already working on the upgrades, so I'm kind of as to what Light's exactly going to do, because there are a lot of transitional opportunities for him now, although with the lack of Marines out there, I actually kind of doubt that he's going to transition into Medic Marines at this point. I believe, actually, aside from Flash, maybe, who just has overall best reaction, I think the best Medic Marine Micro around would probably go to Hwasun. And I think Light's definitely in the top 3 to top 5. And unfortunately, of course, Hwasun is no longer, has been kicked out of pro gaming, so he's no longer a player. You're not going to be seeing any more of that. Wraith, meanwhile, going to come out there. There is a Hydra out there, so we're going to be seeing a few Hydras. Second Wraith also, I believe, coming in, following in, as Light now gets his natural expo going. Has mines to research first for Vulture, so very interesting build is going on for getting a few Vultures out there with mine upgrades to defend from the ground. Working on eBay right now. Has a science facility out there as well, so wondering if he's actually already going to start working on perhaps getting some... Ooh, Wraith going to get shot at. Ooh, a little bit. Yeah, wonder when he's actually going to start working on science vessel soon. Wraith going to get picked off. So actually, I think he has one more in there, but very interesting. Spire coming up there. I think halfway done. I'm not even sure if the Wraith got the spot on that. Still don't see an academy out there. There is another rack's going to be added in. So Flailing Rat is going to be producing ground force. He is going to stick to his guns. The eBay should be blinking for upgrades soon enough. Going to be seeing some turrets out there just in case there's going to be a Mutalist transition. But that doesn't seem to be the case because right now Rororo just kind of wrapping himself up. Umping himself up? I'm not sure. Anyway, getting himself ready. There you go. There's a decent word in the English language I can use. Getting himself ready for an anti-mech build. And if Light actually manages to surprise him by going for Rhines right now, Marines, then really he could be getting a lot of trouble. Vulture, meanwhile, trying to penetrate that natural expo there. Meanwhile, a lot of Hydra's going to go in there. Might try for a break. There is a bunker at the front. But right now, Light needs every single unit he has. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to have many upgrades. Those mines and few units that he has back home are going to be pretty much what he has. Mines going to be out there. Hydras, ooh, barely managed to sacrifice a few Hydras to go down. Still more mines in there. There is the Overlord there that's going to save those Hydralists. SCVs, bunch of SCVs coming off the line to start repairing that bunker. Light looking a lot of trouble. Science facility out there, but not a big help. And meanwhile, now the Hydra's not even worrying about the bunker, just focus firing down those SCVs. So Rororo seems like he's just going to try to take what he can get. Now finally focusing on the bunker, meanwhile going to retreat. Got quite a few SCV kills with those Hydras. Meanwhile, just deciding to just focus down. Hey, I have the SCVs to kill, so weaken the economy since might not be able to break the front otherwise. Light manages to hold this back with nothing but a few of his Marines inside of a bunker. Additional hatches meanwhile going to be put down by Rororo. And I'm actually wondering whether he should be expanding at this point. I do see a siege tank already out there. Siege tech should be getting himself ready with a siege tech. Not even sure he's researched that yet. Several buildings already been cancelled by him. I think maybe that was turrets just to try to get additional units out there quicker and save resources, maybe even for repairing purposes. Scourge coming out there already. Very early Scourge play, very early Science Vessel play. Actually, another thing. But Queen's Nest, meanwhile, already on the way off of 2 bases. This is very risky off of RorO. To go for, if he's going to go for Hive Tech this early, this is significantly risky for him. Light, meanwhile, as you can see, his economy really hasn't hit the level he wants it at because he's only producing ground troops off 2 barracks, while it still has some Vultures out there, also producing Science Vessels. So he hasn't really quite hit that economic space that he wants. 1 Muta alongside a few Scourge. And Muta's not really going to be able to do much at all against Marines, but at least he's going to fly around and maybe try to pick off the Science Vessels. 2 Science Vessels, 1 Siege Tank at the back, which I'm not even quite sure whether it has any Siege Tank upgrade on it yet. Radiate going to go right in the Mutalist. Scourge going to be able to fly around. Someone going to get taken down. And 1 single Scourge going to stay alive. Science Vessels, meanwhile, yeah, going to be fairly safe. Turrets all over the place to help against possible Mutalist tech switching, but he shouldn't be... Light, that is, should feel fairly safe in that. Evolution Chamber up and upgrading. Expansion in the 12 o'clock position. Natural expansion currently being morphed into a hive. Light still only on 2 barracks and not even producer right now, just trying to work on tech, getting his academy out there. Has 1 burning turret that's probably going to go down. Actually, yeah, Light even shooting it down. Himself, I think, actually shot that with a tank, so he's like, I don't need you. Doesn't want to waste resources to repair it. And instead just destroying it, could get a new one when he wants. Let's see. That's 8 Lurkers being ready at the front for Rororo, so that could be a nice force for him. Meanwhile, also getting expanded that inside Nanaka position. I like this play for him. Quick expanding. Worked out last time. Go for massive expansions and try to just overwhelm his opponent. Go for heavy Lurkers. It really did impress with some very nice Lurker play. And Vulture, we're going to try to go to that 12 position. Going to get blocked off, though, by those Lurkers. But might be seeing some comm stations coming up and scans coming off at those locations to follow him out. Very quick to follow him out to Rororo, but he's double expanding to make up for this, to try to get those resources at the end to follow up and just to try to defend his new locations with heavy Lurker play. And Light really doesn't have anything at the moment to move out with. Has few Marines, few medics, 1 tank, and a couple 2 tanks I think at this point. Vulture milling around the map, spawning out the inside 9, and he also has several Science Vessels, I believe 3 of them. So he's actually already has a lot of late game, pretty much all of his late game tech very early in the game, even before, just as the game is entering early mid game play. Vulture gonna get caught here by Zerg. He's just gonna sacrifice his life. Never mind. Let's see. Something. No, I thought something had managed to sneak through, but actually, Light, interestingly enough, just going around destroying all of his turrets.